Hello and welcome again to GrandCanyon.com's informational video series about the most frequently asked questions and the questions you should be asking about planning a vacation to the Grand Canyon. Our last video discussed why the most popular airports for Grand Canyon visitors to fly into weren't necessarily the closest. This next topic will address a very important consideration when planning a vacation: how to best use your time.
Question number 8. I want to go to the Grand Canyon for a week. What can I do? When planning a vacation, some places are conducive to holing up in for a week, others are not. The Grand Canyon falls into the latter category. Most Grand Canyon family vacations are 2-3 days tops. This isn't for lack of scenic beauty or things to see and do. It's mostly due to the fact that there's only so much of the Grand Canyon that can realistically and practically be experienced by most families. So unless you're a hardcore hiker, it doesn't make sense for you to spend a week at the Grand Canyon. The question you should be asking is, how can I make the best use of X amount of days in the Grand Canyon area? If you have a week to spend on your vacation, that's great. And if you're coming to the Grand Canyon, that's even better, because there's so much to see and do in addition to the Grand Canyon while you're here. The Grand Canyon is a component of something called the Grand Circle, which is a cluster of scenic, historical, and cultural attractions within a certain radius of the Four Corners area. And the good news is that many of these attractions are within relatively close proximity of the Grand Canyon. Visitors with a week or more to spend should think in terms of dividing their time between a few different destinations. Here are a couple of examples of popular 7 to 8 day National Park Loop itineraries. Number 1. Start by flying into Las Vegas, maybe spend the night there, then drive on to Grand Canyon South Rim, stopping at Hoover Dam along the way. This will be about a 5-hour drive from Las Vegas for you. Stay for 2 nights at the canyon, during which time you might take an air tour or a jeep tour. Next, head on to Lake Powell. This is a very scenic drive that normally takes 2.5 hours, but can easily be extended to 3 or 4 hours since it takes you along the East Rim Drive of the Grand Canyon and the Navajo Indian Reservation. There are lots of great photo opportunities along the way. When you get to Lake Powell or its gateway community of Page, Arizona, plan on spending at least 2 nights there too, so you can take part in activities such as the Colorado River Discovery Float Trip, 4x4 tours to Antelope Canyon, or a boat tour on Lake Powell. From Lake Powell, head to Bryce Canyon National Park. The drive takes 3 hours, and exploring Bryce Canyon and its world-famous hoodoos can be done in 1 day. Then overnight at Bryce Canyon. From Bryce Canyon, Zion National Park is another 2-hour drive and worth another overnight stay, too, if you can swing it. From Zion, Las Vegas is another 3-hour drive, and then you fly home from there. Here's another option. Number 2. Begin by flying into Phoenix. From Phoenix, take the 2-hour drive to Sedona, where you can spend a good 2 days exploring, shopping, and relaxing. From Sedona, head to Grand Canyon South Rim, a very scenic 3-hour drive, and spend 1 night at the Grand Canyon. While you're there, be sure to take time to enjoy the exciting IMAX movie Grand Canyon: The Hidden Secrets, as well as an air tour, jeep tour, or a simple stroll along the canyon rim. The next morning, drive from the Grand Canyon to Monument Valley, a 3.5-hour drive that will take you through the Navajo Indian Reservation. In Monument Valley, you can enjoy a 4x4 tour or horseback ride through some of the most iconic scenery of the American West. Spend 1 night in Monument Valley, then head south to explore more of Indian country at Canyon de Chelly National Monument. At Canyon de Chelly, you can also explore the canyon floor by horseback or jeep or by 2 scenic rim drives. After a night at Canyon de Chelly or its gateway community of Chinle, hit the road for a 5-hour drive back to Phoenix. Of course, these are just 2 sample itineraries. The possibilities out here are almost endless, and if you take us up on the suggestion to visit a few of our national parks and monuments, we also suggest that you strongly consider buying an America the Beautiful Federal Lands Access Pass. For $80, this card will grant you access to all the national parks and monuments in the country for 1 year's time. What with entry to the Grand Canyon costing $25 per vehicle and other parks charging similar fees, this card can easily pay for itself while you're out here. You can pre-order the pass online at store.usgs.gov/pass, or simply ask to purchase it at the first National Park Service station you visit on your vacation. To find out more about the Grand Circle and all the attractions within it, including more sample itineraries, keep watching for instructions on how to order our complete Grand Canyon travel planner with contact information for the Grand Circle Association.
Thank you again for watching, and thank you for giving GrandCanyon.com the opportunity to serve you. Join us tomorrow for our next video when we talk about hiking and how the Grand Canyon has its own law of gravity. What goes down must come up.